Hello boys and girls, my name's Tom, and today we've got a very video game heavy episode for you. We'll be talking about... Sorry, do you mind?
Sorry, I was just opening some packs in Hearthstone. Look, I've got all these legendaries and epics already.
I don't care, to be honest. I just don't care. I mean, if you give me a minute just to do the intro, and then you can...
I'll do it later then.
Thank you. So, a video game heavy episode with Divinity Original Sin 2, Metal Gear Solid 5 and Hearthstone. This is Safehouse. This week is something of a late bloomer for news, with the past few days giving us our first look at Michael Fassbender in Assassin's Creed, footage released on Instagram from Star Wars Episode 7 where we see Finn wielding a lightsaber, and the battle lines being drawn to tell us which side the heroes of the Marvel Universe will fall on during Captain America's Civil War. But we've opted for a more video game focused approach this week, so let's kick things off with my good friend and co-host James Pickard, who's here to talk about the new Hearthstone expansion, the Grand Tournament.
It's the Grand Tournament!
With the release of the Grand Tournament, Blizzard has added 132 brand new cards to the game, introducing new deck types and new mechanics to a game that's already overfilling with ideas. Blizzard's digital card game has been chugging along nicely for a while now, letting you duel it out between famous faces from the World of Warcraft universe. It's an elegant and absorbing game with the level of polish you'd expect from a Blizzard title, and it completely blows out the water all of the Magic games Wizards of the Coast have been releasing over the last few years. This huge new influx of cards in the Grand Tournament expansion has completely mixed up ranked play. Players are now trying out wild combinations of decks and really weird cards that you wouldn't expect to try and find the next big thing. That is, until they go back to Face Hunter or Freeze Mage. I won't go too much into the current wave of deck theory crafting, because to anyone who isn't a Hearthstone player, that probably sounds about as much fun as torture by paper cuts. A lot of the new decks out there are making use of the Inspire and Joust mechanics, which bump up your character's hero powers or draw cards to see who's the strongest to give you certain benefits. Notably, there's the Totem Shaman, which is a lot more disappointing than I really wanted it to be. But Paladin Control deck's doing pretty nice, as you can summon a whole bunch of 1/1 dudes and buff them up with your Quartermasters. Along with the game's single-player adventures, these huge batches of cards have really reinvigorated the game's competitive scene. And if Blizzard continue to release patches like this, hopefully Hearthstone will continue for a long time in the future.
In just a couple of days we'll be seeing the release of one of the most anticipated games of recent memory. Mad Max. But not really, it's Metal Gear Solid 5. Created by Hideo Kojima and published by Konami, the game is set in the 80s and will see the original Snake leading a mercenary group called Diamond Dogs, and will most likely chronicle the turning point at which Snake becomes Big Boss, which, if you're not up to speed with Metal Gear lore, is just a collection of noises I'm making with my mouth. But you can get this information off Wikipedia. These are things that you probably already knew. Well, here's some things you didn't know. Fans were concerned when it was revealed that longtime voice actor David Hayter was being replaced by Kiefer Sutherland. But Sutherland wasn't the studio's first choice. Actor Christian Bale was actually in talks for the role, but had to drop out due to scheduling commitments.
I'm gonna fucking kick your fucking ass!
The Metal Gear series is known for villainous characters like Revolver Ocelot, Sniper Wolf and Vulcan Raven, all characters named after the weapon they carry and an animal. Some early draft names for Phantom Pain villains included Oozy Fish, Shotgun Baboon and Grenade Pig. Speaking of Revolver Ocelot, there's an Easter egg in the new game where if you kill him, what with this game being a prequel to most of the series, and then boot up a game that chronologically takes place afterwards, the system will read your game data and see that you bumped him off back in the 80s, and he just won't appear. Makes the final boss fight of Metal Gear Solid 4 pretty easy. Just spend 30 minutes punching a disembodied hand. The game's poster gained praise for being the most tasteful of the series so far. In it we see Quiet wearing a sensible turtleneck, while both her and Snake are smeared in jam to promote Konami's advertising deal with Tiptree. While Metal Gear Solid 5 was created and directed by Hideo Kojima, he parted ways with Konami prior to release, prompting his name to be removed from the box art. Many rumours have circulated as to why he left the company, but the most plausible is that he's leaving the video game industry behind to focus on his true passion: brightly coloured light reflective accessories. It's called Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, Hearthstone.
Kickstarter is a wonderful thing. It's a platform that allows you to throw money at projects that you want to see made but might otherwise struggle to see completion, like a Harry Potter vs Predator fan film or a range of hats for your dog. Or of course if you just want to give your money to some YouTubers to make a game, but then they don't make the game or offer any sort of refund or apology. That last one being purely hypothetical, of course. Now, there are a few projects I've backed on Kickstarter over the years, some which have done better than others, as is the nature of the beast, but recently I've added a new project to that list. Divinity Original Sin was a co-op RPG created by Larian Studios and released in the middle of 2014 and was, without question, my game of the year. Pickard and I poured hour after hour into that game, and with the enhanced edition due out later this year, it's highly likely we'll pour a few more in before all's said and done. So it's no shock that Larian announced Divinity Original Sin 2 earlier this month, claiming that while they have the budget to make a good game, they've started a Kickstarter campaign to raise the extra money they needed to make it the best it could be. They're asking for $500,000 and giving us till the 30th of September to pledge, which, asking for $500,000 in just over a month, it's going to be tough. Except not really, because they smashed through their funding goal in less than 12 hours. It was a really good game. So now we wait. I'm sure a few stretch goals will pop up as donations continue to pour in, so if you want to be a part of making Divinity Original Sin 2 into Larian's magnum opus, you can still do so on their Kickstarter page. You'll find it somewhere between the pages for bacon-scented duct tape and knife pants. Not entirely sure what they'd be, but it sounds dangerous. That's about everything for this week.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that usual stuff.
Yeah, and also feel free to check out the podcast, which will be linked to at the end of the episode. We won't be back next week because you may recall our old co-hosts Megan and Dan, well, they're getting married.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a wedding.
I'll be playing Hearthstone.
He'll be playing Hearthstone, and I'll be being a maid of honour. So we won't be back next week, but the following week I'm sure we'll be here to regale you with tales of entertainment news. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.